Back to the last section of chapter 1, and it's adding and subtracting mixed numbers. What are mixed numbers? It's these fractions where we have a whole number, the 1 and the 4, and of course a little fraction, the half and the 5/6. How do we solve for them? Well, we just have to convert the mixed numbers into improper fractions. What are improper fractions? Those are fractions without the whole number, where the numerator is bigger than the denominator, or the part is bigger than the whole. That's why it's improper, because, well, we can have more parts than we have a whole. Right? It's like saying I have more pizza slices than an actual pizza box comes in it. So it's an improper. But the same rules apply as the previous section. So the only difference here is we convert into improper fraction. Okay? So let's go ahead and take a look. I have both examples, adding and subtracting. Right now I'm going to go ahead and focus on the adding portion. Okay, and so what's the first thing that I have to do? I'm going to go ahead and focus on the 1 and 1/2. Okay, if you remember this, we have to multiply the denominator with the whole number. So I'm going to put my little multiplication sign there. So it's 2 times 1. And then I have to add my numerator. So it's 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. So I'm going to just go ahead and rewrite it down here. My numerator is 3. And I'm going to go ahead and keep my denominator. 3/2. That's it. Okay? I'm going to rewrite everything down here. And let me change colors. I'm going to focus on the second mixed number. And I do the same thing. 6 times 4. That's my denominator times my whole number. That's 24. And then I'm going to add my numerator. 24 plus 5 is 29. And I'm going to keep my denominator. And now we have fractions, just like we did in the previous section. What did we do in the previous section? We multiplied diagonally. Hopefully you remembered that. Or you can do it any other way that you learned, that you find easier for you. So I do 6 times 3. Remember, ignore the addition sign for now. 6 times 3 is 18. I'm going to write this up here. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. 29 times 2. That gives me 58. Okay? And then remember I said I'm not going to worry about the plus sign yet, because I'm going to go ahead and multiply my denominators. I'm going to get my new number here. 2 times 6 is 12. So I have my new denominator. And then I ask, what am I doing up here? I am adding. So I'm going to add my two numerators. 58 plus 18. That's going to give me 76. Okay. And we can leave it as is. We don't have to convert back to mixed numbers. I don't mind it. Usually my students, they're okay like this. And of course, then I ask, do we simplify or not? Okay, which I'm not going to go ahead and do because this is still correct. Alrighty. Of course, in the test, you probably will have to. But for time's sake, I'm just going to leave it as is because that's still correct technically. So that's it for the addition part. Convert, and then just do the simple steps that we did the previous section. Let's look at the subtraction. It's going to be the same thing. The first step is to convert this into improper. So I'm going to do 9 times 5. That's 45. Plus 2. 47 over 9. I'm going to rewrite it down here. Minus, I'm going to change colors. And then I do 9 times 2, that's 18. Plus 1, 19. And I keep my denominator. And now normally I would do the multiplying, but if you notice, I only did this because my denominators were different. In this case, my denominators are the same. Therefore, I don't have to do all of that multiplying and then subtracting. since it is, and I did this on purpose, like you see I don't have to do it every time, I'm just going to go ahead and keep my denominator because it's already the same. And I'm just going to subtract across. So 47 minus 19 gives me 28. And then I were to ask, can I simplify this or not? Okay, and I believe 3 times you can't. So this is the simplest form. That's it. And of course, if it were different, then you do this step, this additional steps, and then you go ahead and add or subtract. But since I didn't have to, I'll just do the denominators there on purpose. Okay, hopefully this wasn't too difficult. And again, for the practices, page 5 for the adding, I would just say pick your own in this case because it's sort of similar to the previous 2 sections that we did. And so, I don't want to have you do another 4 if you feel comfortable already. So I'll let you pick your own there. And also for the subtracting, that just means pick your own. The same thing, I just didn't have space to write it. But that would be page 6, which is all subtracting. Okay. The last section here is multiplying and dividing mixed numbers. Also, this is probably even easier. So we also have to convert mixed numbers into improper fractions, and the same rules apply as the previous section for multiplying and dividing mixed numbers. So let's look at multiplying. First, I'm going to go ahead and multiply 1 times 6, and then add that 1. So 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Keep the denominator, that doesn't change. Bring out the operation, I'm multiplying. And I'm going to look at the second factor here. These are called factors because I'm multiplying them. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 3 is 10 over 7. And then remember with the with the multiplication, we just multiply across. Numerator with numerator, denominator with denominator. So 7 times 10 is 70. And then the denominators is 6 times 7 is 42. And of course, evens you are able to simplify, but I'm not going to do that again to save time. Because I believe this becomes, if I do by 2, and this is 21. And then I think you can go ahead and continue. Let me see. No, I think this is it. Oh, no, 7. You can do 7. Well, might as well just finish it. You do 7 here, and this is 5 over 3. And you're done. Okay, I went up there, but over 3. Cool. Hopefully that, at least this part, how to get it. And then, of course, the simplifying. Dividing again with that new trick. Hopefully it was better than the reciprocal. If not, you can go ahead and continue doing the reciprocal, but I'm still going to try to teach you the second way. But please feel free to use whichever one you feel comfortable with. I still need to convert this into improper. So 8 times 1 is 8, plus 3 is 11. Still going to keep my division sign. And I'm going to go ahead and do the second here fraction of mixed number. It's 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5 over 4. Keep the denominator. And remember, it's a little zigzag. So I'm going to start from my 11 times 4. And this number is going to go up here. So that is 44. And then the denominator is going to be, oh, that's the same color. 8 times 5, and that one's going to go down here. And that is 40. Okay, and this one's actually simple. It's a 4. So I'm going to go ahead and simplify. If I divide that by 4, I get 11 over 10. Okay, but either or is correct. This one's just more correct. And that's it for multiplying and dividing fractions. Okay, and again, practice. For multiplying is all of page 7, but you can pick your own problems. You can pick 1 or 2 if you like, or more. Of course, each section has 26 problems. That's only there if you wanted extra practice for yourself. But, I'll let you pace yourself on that one. Just let me know, hey, you know what, I feel comfortable with this one, and I feel comfortable with this one, and like that, I'll know, okay, we're good to go for the next section. And dividing is page 8. Okay, now with the actual problems, I have the physical copy here. Some of these are like really big numbers that you probably won't see on the test because, again, you'll have a calculator, or you won't be spending too much time with the non-calculator portion. So I don't expect you to see these like crazy numbers on the test, but just in case, there's practice here for that. I picked fairly easy ones just so that I can teach you how to do it, and then of course you can do the struggling a little bit because that's where the learning comes from. Okay, and so this concludes the chapter 1, which is all about fractions and mixed numbers. Please let me know if you have any other questions, if you need me to go over anything. Chapter 2, we will be jumping into decimals. Okay, and I don't expect that one to take forever. Here it is, chapter 2. So I'll probably send this out either tomorrow afternoon or Saturday morning. Okay, it's chapter 2. It's just comparing decimals, rounding decimals, adding and subtracting, multiplying and dividing. Okay, it's also easy, but you will see decimals on the test. So I feel something we should either refresh or cover. Or let me know. Maybe you feel really comfortable with this and you don't need a refresher on that. Okay, we can maybe skip it. So I'll leave it up to you. Okay, hopefully these lessons were refreshing, or like I said, you learned something new. And hopefully that makes it easier for you come test day. Okay, we'll see you then. Thank you.